Bienvenidos! Welcome to Spain on a Fork. In today's episode, we're going to grab two very basic ingredients. We're talking eggs and potatoes and create one incredible breakfast dish. Now, when you're working with eggs and potatoes, there's so many different routes you can take to make a plethora of different dishes. What we're making today is crispy hash browns with poached eggs, guys. This is such a gorgeous breakfast dish, and it's got so many different textures to it. Thanks to those crispy hash browns and those soft poached eggs, this is one of the best ways to start your day. All right, guys, this is easy to make, comes together in 30 minutes. Let's get started. I'm gonna begin by rinsing one large Yukon Gold potato under some cold running water. Now, if your potato has some stubborn debris on it, just get in there with a steel cloth and make sure you scrub it well. Once your potato's well rinsed, I'm gonna grab a box grater and start shredding the potato. As you guys can see, I'm leaving the skin on the potato. This always adds a beautiful rustic flavor when you're making hash browns. Once you have all your potatoes shredded, I'm going to transfer the shredded potatoes into a large bowl. And I'm going to fill the bowl with some cold water and let it sit here for about 5 minutes. This is going to help release some of the starches in the potatoes, which will ensure that your potatoes will be cooked on the inside and crunchy on the outside. After 5 minutes, I'm going to drain the potatoes into a sieve and then rinse them under some cold running water. Once your potatoes are well rinsed, I'm going to grab a cheesecloth and add the shredded potatoes in there. And over a sink, I'm going to squeeze out as much as possible of the water from these shredded potatoes, guys. This is such an important step when you're making hash browns. This is what ensures that your hash browns have a beautiful crunchy texture. Once you've drained out as much as possible of the water from the potatoes, I'm going to transfer them into a bowl. Season them with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And I'm going to mix them together to ensure that these seasonings are all evenly divided. All right, let's start cooking our hash browns. I'm going to grab a large nonstick frying pan, heat it with a medium-high heat, and add in a generous tablespoon and a half of extra virgin olive oil. And make sure you swirl the olive oil around, that way it covers the entire surface of the pan. While our oil is heating up, let's get our pan ready for our poached eggs. I'm going to grab a saucepan, add in 4 cups of cold water, 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar, and a pinch of sea salt. And we're going to hit this with a low-medium heat and let this come to a simmer. All right, let's move back to our frying pan. It's been about 2 minutes since I added the olive oil in there, and it's nice and hot. I'm gonna grab a handful of the shredded potatoes and add them in there. And using a spatula, I'm gonna push down on the shredded potatoes. We're kind of trying to make a patty here. The design doesn't really matter, but you do want the thickness of it to be about 1/4 inch thick. And using the spatula is kind of compact it. That way everything comes together. And after this step, you don't want to mess around with the potatoes anymore because we're trying to get a beautiful golden crust in the bottom. After 3 minutes, I'm gonna get in there and flip the hash browns. And if it falls apart, it's okay. Just using that spatula, compact it all together. After a total cooking time of 6 minutes, that's 3 minutes per side, this hash brown is ready to go. I'm gonna remove it from the heat. And continue to cook your hash browns, add a little bit more olive oil into the pan, and another handful of the shredded potatoes. And once again, using the spatula, just push down on it. We're trying to make a patty here. Like I told you, the design doesn't really matter, but you want the thickness of it to be about 1/4 inch thick. All right, we have all our hash browns done. Let's move on to the poached eggs. As you guys can see, our water is simmering. It is not boiling. Very important when you're making poached eggs to have a simmering water. If it's boiling, the eggs are gonna break apart. Using a whisk, I'm gonna start creating a whirlpool. And then slowly add in 1 egg. Now, by creating that whirlpool, this is going to ensure that those egg whites are going to wrap around the egg yolk to give us a beautiful poached egg. After simmering our egg for 3 to 4 minutes, those egg whites should be perfectly cooked while that egg yolk is still nice and creamy. Using a slotted spoon, I'm going to remove the poached egg, shake off any of the excess water, and transfer it into a dish. And continue to cook in this exact technique until you have all your poached eggs done. Okay, we have all our ingredients done. I'm gonna plate one plate for presentation. I'm gonna grab a poached egg, place it on top of a hash brown, lightly season the poached egg with a little sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And I'm gonna sprinkle the dish with some freshly chopped chives. This adds such an incredible flavor to this breakfast dish. Now I'm gonna cut the poached egg open. That way you guys can see what it looks like inside. Seriously guys, have eggs and potatoes ever looked better than this? I cannot wait to try it. Here we go. I mean, what can you say? It's eggs and potatoes. It's the perfect marriage in heaven. So many different combos you can do using those two ingredients. But this one here in particular, those crispy hash browns, what an incredible texture to them. And then the poached eggs, the egg whites fully cooked through, and those egg yolks nice and creamy, guys. It does not get better than this. This is perfect for a relaxed weekend breakfast. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.